It looks good. Everything's all nice and set up.
Are we on?
Yes, sir.
We think.
We think we're on.
Yes.
We're always right on. But we're on now.
Right on, yes. And we're waiting for the mystery question. We're at Troy. Troy, please, Troy. So
Yeah.
we'll see what
That acquires here.
get. We're gonna adjust some little screen stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mr. Sinclair's been taking stuff on the Googleverse and making sure that, looking for, see what everybody's interested in or what somebody might need help in. And,
Yep.
you know, the dog world's a pretty big world, and in America, in America, it's, as they love to say, I hate this cliche statement, but it's the wild, wild west, right? Anything goes if you're quick enough and you get out of town real fast,
That's right.
right?
One and done.
One and done, yeah. Make your bucks and go to the next sucker in
Yep.
another town, you're gonna be okay. You know?
Yeah, I know in the Old West they had a lot of snake oil salesmen.
Yeah, they did, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
You know, you had a lot of, Wyatt Earp shot a bunch of people up in Kansas, and then went down to Tombstone, shot even more, so.
Mm-hmm. True. True.
So now we're gonna see what's going on in the Googleverse, who's calling what this week.
So, I was thinking, so we talked about the type of dogs and what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I said, look for the right dog for you.
Right.
Look for the right dog for what you need. Well, now that you found your pup you want, I've thought maybe we need to talk about where you're going to get that dog and how it's going to be trained. Because,
Yeah, good, that's
you
good.
buy a dog and you got to get it trained.
Right.
So I figured we could cover, where not to go get a dog and what to look for when buying a dog, I should say. Go ahead.
They can't hear you, Butch.
Can't hear me?
Click it once.
Good, what wants to-
The bottom. Now top.
There you go.
How about now? Well, that's something, we're learning about our sound system. I'll be darned.
Hey,
Okay.
it is. But more or less, I meant to say where not to get, as where to go, as what to look for when buying a dog, and what to look for when training a dog that will not to just will put up a red flag. Let's say that.
Yeah, keep them getting ripped off.
Yes, sir. Keep them getting ripped off.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you did your usual research,
yeah, just you want to cover the buying the dog first, since you got to buy a dog first. So
Yeah, go hit the biggie. If I can add something, I will.
so once most people, you buy a dog from someone, they won't offer you references or Google.
References, yeah.
Online,
Google reviews, yeah.
You know,
That's an obvious one.
yeah.
Go
They don't offer to let you meet the parents of the pup, the male and the female, and where the pups were raised.
Very good. Very, very. Why is that?
I need to see. I want to see the dog is going to be socialized and where it's at. If it's being taken care of right, if it's got its shots, if the people are actually taking care of the dogs and not on a damn barn somewhere.
There you go. Like a puppy mill. Very
Yeah.
good. Yep. Excellent point.
Yep. Oh, I never understood this. They offer to meet you halfway or ship the dog, fly to you or ship it to you.
Okay, so now,
Are you hiding something?
there you go. There you go. Let me add one to that. You may have it on your list. Go ahead and finish your list, and I'll see if.
The other one I had was when I went to buy my dog. They don't ask questions about you. What you do, where you live, or try to see what kind of person you are. If the dog's be taken care of properly,
How many dogs have you owned? Have you ever had big dogs before? If you're getting a big dog,
Right.
have you ever had little dogs? If you're getting a little dog, what's kind of your experience? And to go back on that meet you halfway nonsense. And I know some people that are good, honest breeders that they don't want people coming to their house because they're like paranoid. They think everyone's gonna break in and steal their prized dog, right? But I also know just 2 weeks ago, a lady looking for an American Bulldog, or it was a Corso, and she asked my help. And if anyone is looking for something and you've got a dog picked out, you can always call me. I'll be more than happy to reach and talk to your breeder personally and look for all the red flags I've learned over the years. But she calls me and says, well, this and such, and I said, well, first thing you want to do is look on their website and see if there's an address or a phone number or just an email.
Okay.
Okay. She said, well, it's just an email. Okay. So the second thing you want to know is where they're located and can you come pick up the dog? And she calls me back and she says, well, they're out of state, but they ship. Okay. But there's no address. Now, what if you're in state? I know we got a brand new modern tech world, but some things never change. If you're not proud of what you're doing, then you're going to keep it under covers. Right, Scott?
Absolutely.
And I don't care if I'm shipping dogs, which I have, to Alaska or New York or Puerto Rico. I'm going to have my address up because no matter where I'm shipping them out of state to, I still have potential local buyers. And my cost on those local buyers is a lot less because I have no shipping fees. I have no hassle of going to the airport and coming back. I want local buyers. Why would anyone open a business and not tell anyone in their neighborhood what they're doing?
Right.
I don't get it unless they don't want you to know what they're doing. And they don't want you to, as Scott said earlier, they don't want you to see that they got all those puppies in a barn in the back in little bitty 4x4 wire pens.
Never seen daylight.
Yeah,
No place to go to the bathroom.
yeah. And these are the dogs that as they grow up eat their own poop because, hey, that's all they had for entertainment when they were growing up. So, you know, they get numb to that odor. So, good stuff, I think.
Yep. So now we covered that. You got your puppy. You found a good breeder. Now you're looking for a trainer, Butch.
Yes, looking for the trainer. All right, so how can you get scammed looking for a trainer? Well, let me count the many ways.
There's a few.
The first thing we got to understand is, this holds true of breeders too. Carol Ann's throwing stuff at us. There's no governing body for dog trainers at all. There's a couple of pet dog trainer associations, and they're real good associations. They mean well. There's no way they can police all the dog trainers in this country. Many years ago, a gentleman named Appy Camps, who's kind of prominent in the KNPV in Holland, was at my place in El Paso, and he told me the biggest problem with the reason America can't have a consistent great dog training program like the KNPV has in Holland is because the country's too big. In Holland and in European, Germany, and these European countries where things are smaller, if you get out of line, word travels pretty quick.
Yep.
In America, if you get out of line,
You cross state lines and you're good to go.
you just move down.
Hey, next town over probably.
Move on like Wyatt Earp to the next place, or don't even worry about that. Today, just change your name on the internet and put up a different ad.
Right.
So it's never going to be, dog trainers and dog breeders are never going to be an industry where everyone can go in and just say, yes, this will be good, and yes, you'll train good. You're going to have to do your homework, folks.
Yeah. It's like I do commercial masonry on the side, and it's very stringent, contractor to contractor. There are laws you have to follow. There's a very strict regulations and everything else. But till we get that in America with the dog training, then everybody can do what they got to do, and everybody's a dog trainer basically.
Right, right.
So you got to be on the lookout.
And you know, if you've never owned a dog before, you don't know. And if someone's got a real fancy web page, it looks good, you're going to jump on it. So,
And nowadays, the way that everything's got to be like this, and you put your flash on the internet real quick,
good point.
get your adrenaline going, you start thinking, that's what I want.
Right, right.
And it might be the guy that doesn't have a website or nothing. You know, it's just, everything's like this now.
Yeah.
No one takes the time to research anything, and
That's the downfall.
yes, sir.
You know, it's impulse, and these people know this. These breeders know this. They have pictures of good looking. I've got a gentleman. Hey Adel, hope you're watching down in outside the Austin area, who bought a Connie Corso from what on the web page looked like the most beautiful, perfect dog he ever had. He got to have one. and he got his pup, and it was, you know, covered in ticks, sick, and everything was wrong with the dog.
So it's like buying something off a Wish. You got a nice picture and you get a piece of plastic.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like going on the dating sites, you know, and seeing the best looking girl you ever saw, and
Yeah.
finding out she's really, you know, 87 years old.
That or she's the gorilla that came in.
Yeah, she's that gorilla in a bikini. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what do you do about dog trainers though? You got your dog growed up. Now you're ready to go train him. I'm going to give you a couple of red flags if you're large dog owners. Small dog owners, yeah, not so much, because not many people train their little dog. Because if you got a Yorkie and he's getting on your nerves, just pick him up, stick him in your purse, and go on, right?
Right?
You know. But big dogs, and this happened today, was what kind of gave me the idea to do this. There's a couple of red flags. This gentleman comes out to get his dog trained, and he was referenced this other. He came here by mistake. He was referenced this other trainer, and the only thing he knew about this other trainer was a friend told him that he had had a puppy he got, and these people told him that they trained police dogs at this certain city. And the minute he said that, I went, and I still don't know to this minute who those trainers were. He never told me their name. I didn't ask. But I do know this. This police dog association, and the cops will tell you they don't like it. You know, they don't like civilians claiming some connection to them that they haven't earned. In fact, it's a lot of places it's almost against the law, like impersonating a police officer, peace officer. So anyone who tells you, if it's a breeder, if they tell you that, this is a big line for breeders of German Shepherds especially, his parents were drug dogs at the international airport, or his parents were police dogs. No. If his parents were actually active police dogs, they wouldn't have been in that breeder's ownership ever. So always beware whenever you hear any word coming up from a breeder or a trainer trying to associate them with military or law enforcement. Now, let's look at the other half, the trainers who say, I train the police dogs for such and such, so and so. Well, 80% of all police dogs in this country are imported, almost ready to go. Some of the big, good quality brokers will import greener dogs who are not quite finished and finish their training in maybe in English or something here. But if you ever wondered why all these police dogs and all these so-called protection dogs are trained in a foreign language, and the trainer says, well, that way no one can give your dog the command to stop biting him. Well, guess what? How would the guy know what your command to stop would be anyway?
Right.
He's trained in a foreign language because he was trained in a foreign country, boys. I'm sorry. And this is 80% of all police dogs. So if you get a trainer who tells you I train police dogs, out the other door, okay?
Yeah, because you can always put a suit on, get a bite from a police dog at a police station, and say you train police dogs.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people will do is they'll say I train the local PD dogs, and what they are is they're people who bought a suit and they learn how to jump up and down in front of a dog and then stick their armpit out there and let him bite it. Mm-hmm. And they're decoys. They're decoys. They're show competition, show field type decoys who volunteer with their local police department to help them work their dogs by giving them a target to bite. And that's great. And there's a lot of police departments that will welcome it because some of the police departments may not have someone in-house.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
I was in Temple, Florida, and I made the K9 Officer Cabbage's name of the. It was what was that city we stayed at?
We stayed in Dade City.
We're in Dade City, in Dade County, and I just saw his police dog there in the car, and I said, "Hey, it's a nice dog." And we started talking. I told him, hey, I've done a little bit of this and that. He goes, whenever you come back down here, you come on down because there's no decoys here for our police dogs. If you ever want to come, you're more welcome to come take some bites and keep the dogs fresh.
Yep.
And he gave me his card.
Please.
So, but it's not like I'm training the dog. I'm just going to keep the dog fresh by getting eaten.
Yeah, by getting eaten. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. So that's what these trainers will tell you. And there's a huge number of people who won't say that they've trained a police dog just because they stood up and played scarecrow. But they will try to convince you they're dog trainers. And this is the second little scam you need to watch out for. Because they put on a suit and let a dog bite them, now they think they're a trainer. And if you do, again, your research, it'll go back to what Scott said the very first thing. Check those referrals, check those reviews. Look in the background of this person. And it's not just a matter of he got a 5-star review. I know a fella who I've known for 25 years who trained one dog in his life and became a dog trainer professional in Fort Worth, Texas. And he's got 3 reviews. You know, it's his second cousin, girlfriend before she broke up with him.
Damn it.
Damn it. And his mama. And he comes in number 1, you know, when you look up dog trainers in Fort Worth, he'll come in number 1 almost every time. He's also paying for little SEO services.
Right.
So look at the number of reviews they have, and then ask them if you can come out and watch them train. And this is the biggest thing for trainers, if you're looking for a trainer, in my opinion. I'm not going to, after more than a day or two in this business, I'm not turning my dog over to anybody if I haven't seen their training methods. Period. I can throw you a sales pitch. And if I'm good and I talk fast enough, I can make you think I'm the greatest. And another thing you can remember is when you're asking questions, if it takes them 27 minutes to answer a simple question, most of that's smoke in mirrors. So beware the lengthy, well, they got so many prey drives and we're going to deal with the first prey drive after we deal with the third prey drive. But until we get the 5th prey drive, we'll never know what the first prey drive can do. Because then when we get the first prey drive, we've got to worry about the bite. And if they don't get the bite, then it's not genetic. And if it's not genetic, it's got to be. There you go. There you go.
You know what though? You just said that. Made me think of something. So, Butch, someone wants to put a bang for their buck, getting their dog trained. You know, a bang for their buck. What do you need to look for and be wary of?
What do you need to look for?
That you don't want. You know,
Oh,
you get your first stage, second stage, third stage type of thing on the training.
Good. Thank you, Scott. That's a great question. That's a great question. That's my favorite. This is going to be the most common you're going to see. This will go across all breeds of dogs. Little dogs, big dogs, in between dogs. We always see the dog trainers that have, on their web pages, they will show you that they have X number of levels of training, right? They have basic obedience, they have advanced obedience, and then maybe if they're really, really good master dog trainers, they have oh wow obedience. You know, that's the tip-top level, man. So I've always wondered, because they're going to teach walk on a leash and come when I call. That's level 1. And then level 2 is going to be walk without a leash or heel. Let's call it heel. Heel on leash, that's your basic obedience. Heel off leash, that's your advanced obedience. So I wonder to myself, why on earth does heel with a leash on the dog's collar mean walk at my side, but heel, the word, without a leash means I got to teach what heel means again? Isn't it the same command, with or without the leash? Why is it advanced without the leash but basic with the leash? I mean, it's kind of like if this hat's on my head, if I put it on my foot, is it not a hat? It's still a hat. Heel is heel. These are the little things that get everybody. When you have these multiple levels of training, whether it's obedience or advanced security dogs, there are some things, let's take the security dog industry, personal protection dog. You can get a basic dog there who knows how to bite on command. He knows how to stop on command and be calm. But if you want to go to level 2, I'm going to teach this dog to not only bite and that, I'm going to now teach him to call off. And if I want to go to level 3, I'm now going to teach him to track and find a suspect. But you notice at each level I go up, I have an entirely new different thing to teach.
Because it's a pyramid.
Huh?
You're teaching the base and you're coming up.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But
But
it's something different every time.
yeah, but in obedience, they just teach an extended version of what they did in basics. So if you got a trainer who's just going to teach this extended version, think about what you want to do with your dog. And remember, anytime, if you're looking for any information, especially for buying from breeders, because that's a pet peeve of mine, we got a lot of puppy mills in this country, a lot, and they shouldn't be in business. But it's the US of A, and everybody who wants to make a buck and does it quick enough can, all right? So if you're looking and you're interested in something somewhere with a breeder, if you need to call, if you need some help, you can always give me a call. I don't care where you're at. I talk to people all over the world.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So
One thing about to spot a puppy mill, if you go to buy a dog, you're looking for a Cane Corso, and they breed Cane Corsos, Dog Argentinos, and Rotties, it's probably a puppy mill.
yeah.
You know, that's just something to look for.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Proper breeding is a lot of work.
You can buy Western Shepherd, it's all we breed here. Come on.
Yep. That's the only breed. Yep. And we only put out 6 litters a year because it's too damn much work to do much more than that.
Yes, sir.
Got anybody coming in there, Miss Carol Ann?
I had a couple of compliments.
Oh, on our sound?
Sounds good.
We hope we got our sound good. Go ahead.
We got Carolyn, she said, my last Doberman, she drove from Keller to Fort Smith, Arkansas to meet the breeder. They went
Good for
through
her.
a care training session before they could leave.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Awesome.
And then Modesta said, that's funny, I drove from Fort Smith, Arkansas to Capel Canine for their Western Shepherd.
Who is that?
Modesta.
Modesta. Okay, yes,
She
I know
said
that.
they
Yes,
could
yes.
not be happier. They are pretty sure Gunner would sit up
Yep.
and write his name in the dirt for his ball, just so easy to work with and intelligent.
Thank you,
on
sir.
their
Thank you.
Western Shepherd.
Appreciate that very much.
Yes.
So we talked about a few weeks ago about doing a Q&A with the people on the net and have people out here. And if it ever cools down, I think, which you were telling me about, we want to schedule something. We could do
Yeah.
a live chat and
Yep.
people and everything else. So we got in the books. We just got to wait till it cools down here. It's still in the 90s in Texas over here. Still July, so.
Yeah, feels like so.
Mhm.
Yeah, but be getting ready. If you know anyone who wants to come out and visit with us, we'll
Yep.
have some refreshments of some sort,
Yes.
and we'll sit.
And everybody's gonna want to come then, huh?
Anyway, we'll have some refreshments, and we're wanting to go outside and do it outside where we've got some cool fresh air, and we'll take questions, do it live, let everybody get on the whole YouTube with us, and then of course you can always write in like Modesta did tonight. So appreciate
Absolutely.
you folks. Hope this helps somebody in the future with their training or their purchase of a dog, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.